Hi everyone, I'm here at DCPL and in our special collections. I'm going to show you just a little bit of how to clean a donation that you might get in that might look a little weird and dirty. We got this donated. This is a little 8mm viewer. We got an 8mm and a super 8mm viewer donated, and this is nice and gentle on film. So I tested this by just plugging it in. That's the first thing you want to do. You just plug in what you have and find the on button, right? Like some of them might not have it. This one, I'm pretty sure just you plug it in and it turns on. Can you see from there? Yeah, so all I'm looking for is that the light goes on. But you can basically see that the light bulb works and that it turns on. Yeah, so you definitely want to unplug the item before cleaning. Now I have my 99% isopropyl alcohol, but I'm looking at this and there's not a lot of metal here, so which I would only use that on metal, so I'm just going to be mostly using my distilled water, which thanks again Arkansas for these handy frisbees that we can also pour stuff into. We don't want to degrade the plastic because that's what alcohol does. So now I have just regular old Q-tips that I bought in bulk a while ago, and basically I'm just going to use this distilled water that I poured out and start cleaning things up, and just really getting in there. Should probably get a trash can to put the extremely dirty Q-tips as we go, because I'm going to have to use a lot of Q-tips. So, and try not to make them super wet either. So once again, like kind of drip it off a little bit because you just don't want a bunch of water getting into the cracks there. You could even have like a paper towel where you just kind of dab it to make sure that you don't have too much excess, but you know, I'm in a rush. And I'm using a dry end of the Q-tip on some parts of it, not necessarily on the screen. I don't want to hurt the screen too much, but just to sop up some of that. Maybe I'll do it a little bit on the screen, on the sides, around the edges, just to get some of that liquid off. We're not plugging this in again for a little bit so that it can fully dry overnight, so it's good to do this end of day. And once again, if I were doing this on a video deck, I would, be very wary of using tons of water around any like boards, or if you see holes that it could seep through, also worry about that. So there's a lot to think about. But mostly with these film viewers, you can really get in and like just go for it, because like I said, it is just a light bulb in there. Could also probably a microfiber towel would be great for this too, but I don't have one of those right now, so just dipping the paper towel in and kind of blotting it a little bit. So once again, it's not super drippy. This one's so cute. It has its own little splicer at the front. A lot of them do have that, and that's metal, so I'm probably going to get in there with some isopropyl after I do a little water, since I'm on a roll. So now you might also have some, a lot of them kind of go like this, or they might have some that fold out from there. So if you're having trouble with them moving out, potentially all the way, You might want to use a little like W40 to kind of grease it up in there to make sure it's moving properly. So that's something, and also that can kind of go for these little rewinders if they're not moving really smoothly. But you know, you have to make sure that you don't do too much of that, otherwise you'll just have to keep cleaning it up because you don't want that stuff to get on everyone's film as they put the reels on there, or get it on their hands and then they'll get it on the film. All right, looking real good, real good. I'm concerned about the inner workings here because this is where the film goes. There's a little wheel that turns. So I am going to sort of like the wheel inside there. You can basically take a Q-tip and don't let it, I really would not recommend it be dripping at all, and move with the Q-tip as you're cleaning it, move the little wheel. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Get a nice flashlight up in there if you have a third hand. So I'm just dripping, letting all the drips off the Q-tip, and kind of hear it moving through. I'm not really seeing a lot of stuff come off, but I will do it again a bunch. Gotta really turn this stuff upside down to get all the nooks and crannies. All right, well that, not a lot came off of that, so I'm gonna open this up, and some of these might, you might get some really cheap ones that don't have screws, and it's just kind of plastic melded together. So in that instance, I'm afraid you won't be able to get inside, and you'll have to do your best with what you have. But extra Arkansas swag to catch my and keep my screws safe. Ooh, there goes my arm. And my other arm. Okay. So you just want to kind of pay attention when you take that last one off of how it will go back. So with the handle that you pull facing towards you, and the little, this little editor, gotta move my car, and this little editor facing towards you as well. So that's the top one. Okay, I'm gonna remember that. Totally gonna know. Okay, so I have, this pops off too, right? Put my screw here. Now, I'll just show you what you can see inside. It's pretty much just a light bulb, but we can get up under there where the film will be rolling through, so you can have a little bit more access to that to clean. I'm just, if you have, you know, a duster too, you could do that, but I might just real quick, no water, just kind of brush gently the light bulb, just the light bulb top, because it has some dust on it. So I just want to get that off. Most of it. It's hard to get behind it, but that's fine. So, yeah, it looks mostly clean inside. I'm seeing some like moldy looking kind of stuff. So I'm definitely seeing, hard to explain. I'll try and take a photo with my flashlight. So they're flathead screws. Of course, I only have one huge one, but that's fine. So cool. Now I'm lifting this. Try not to touch that with your fingers, but I'm gonna see if I can do just a little bit of water to clear it up. So that's that one. New Q-tips. So there's a little mirror in there, some mirrors. Now I don't want to use the water on those. You could probably find some Windex and use that on that. There's like, they look pretty clean though. I'm not really, don't touch them. I'm just using a dry one for a few little spots that I see that look like a little fuzzy. Ooh. Just took this part out. So it was like this in there, and I just pulled it out. So I'm mentally noting how exactly which way, because it's like slightly bent, and that side goes forward. So I'm mentally noting that that's how it goes. It's facing me and facing me. So now I can clean this little glass thing in there a little bit better. Although I'd really like to get the other side of it, because there's a little dirt there, but I can see on the other side. Oh, it fell out, so I can do the other side. It's like glass, but it also feels, I don't know if it's glass exactly, it feels a little rubbery. So I'm just gonna dip it in this, drying it off. Do a little blowing up there. Get some dust off. Drying this. Powder-free nitrile gloves. So we're taking this little guy, and it looks like it's the same on both sides, so I'm just gonna pop it in there again. Yep. Oh, it looks so much cleaner. Oh, see through it. Then I'm gonna take this metal thing and put it back in there the way it was, which just holds it in there. Yep. And I'm just gonna gently remove my glove. Be careful of this bottom part. It's potentially falling out because everything has been unscrewed. So I'm just going to show you now what the bottom looks like. And see, I want to get that like moldy dirt there. I should probably be wearing a mask, but it's a very well ventilated room. It's a big room. I'm just going to, once again, this is where I'm just going to use a dry one for right now. Just because I don't want to get water on any of this elements of this light. But I don't want that stuff just hanging around there too much. But this has like dirt on it and stuff, and I'm not thrilled about. I'm going to just clean the wire a little bit with the distilled water. Looks so much better. Just for like surface stuff. Don't go too crazy with scrubbing. Once again, you're going to let it dry overnight, maybe 2 days. And I wouldn't be doing it unless I saw any cracks in the wire or anything. I mean, there is a crack. There's like a line that goes down, but it doesn't. It's just the way the wire is designed. It's not like there's a break in this outer protective covering. Seeing some things that could use a little bit of cleaning, just little spots. So I'm just going to use a little bit of water to get just those spots. And on that black part, which seems metal, but I'm just going to use water. There's some more on the top there. Just use it now. There is another mirror in here, and again, you don't want to use water on the mirror. I really wouldn't touch it if it's not that clean. There's one little spot on there that I'm just gonna use a dry Q-tip real quick. And I pretty much just smudged it, so I'm not even gonna bother. You don't need it to be, the mirrors to be perfect. It's shooting the light. All right, looking good in there. Now I just have to put everything back together. So now it just is going to dry overnight, and even though it's not very wet at all, and that's it. I know it seems like a lot and maybe intimidating, but the general rule I think would be take photos as you go, so everything you can put everything back the way it should be, and sometimes things are going to fall out, so just be very slow. And maybe do it more over a table, because I sort of started leaning this way and some things fell out onto the ground, and you don't want to lose anything. So make sure you have things to put, little things. When in doubt, just use distilled water. Don't use a lot of it. Yeah, and then wait a while to let everything dry, and happy cleaning.